Okay. I'm going to go get a coffee.
I can still hear you. Y'all can still talk.
I'm going to get a coffee.
Okay.
You do that.
And a hat, since it's hat day, and I'm not wearing a hat.
You never wear a hat.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, that's not true. He's worn a hat before.
It's hat day.
It's hat day.
Hat day.
Come back to
I'm
us.
frozen or you're...
Oh, there we go. Frozen. Now you're back.
Oh. This is my internet connection.
I like that, Gurpers. Is that wait, hold on. Is that the universal symbol for coming back? Okay.
This is just my version of the little, timeout thing spinning in the middle of the screen. Waiting for it to buffer.
So Gurfers, are you good with your list? Are you shooting off the hip today?
I'm gonna shoot off the hip. I'll probably look some stuff up while y'all are talking.
Okay, so this is the way it's gonna go, Gurfers. We're gonna do our list. So there'll be 15 albums, supposedly. After those 15 albums, we as a group have to dwindle them down to 5 that we agree upon.
Dude, it's gonna be like that metal show.
It is gonna be that metal show. Yeah.
That's cool. So I bring a list of 15, and then
no, you bring a list of 5. That's it.
You bring your.
I think he's trolling us. I think
15.
that's what he's doing.
So we're gonna do I bring 15, and then we whittle it down to 5.
Oh, shut up.
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever. Just
I can do that.
Show.
I can bring 15.
I'm
yeah, because you're the numbers guy.
Or I can bring 30. I mean,
hey, are we all wearing our rings?
No.
Yet. What? Oh,
that's it. We're breaking up. I showed it to Brock, and Brock goes, "What the hell, man? Why don't I get a ring?" I go, "I don't know. Maybe because he doesn't know you the way he knows me." He goes, "What the f-, man?"
He's not on the show.
And I was like, I don't know. You could talk to him about it. He goes, "Well, dude, can we get a ring?" I go, "Sure. Go buy me a ring."
Dude, I made another dude jealous by giving you a ring. That's not the gayest damn thing I've ever heard of in my life.
I'll make sure I edit all that out.
No, leave that in.
Well, I'm just going to throw out there before we get started that I'm about to start identifying as a woolly mammoth. And that's what I'm going. I'm not a man. I'm not a woman. I'm a woolly mammoth.
Well, with that beard, you're close. Have you seen the Vine where the guy goes on all levels except for physical? I'm a wolf, and he shows him walking, and it's like a real guy. And he's like, whoo, woof.
No, I have not seen or heard of that. That is you that watches that stupid shit.
No, it's my daughter. She's the one who showed it to me, but
she takes after you because she lives with you. She's a product of you.
Yes, she is. Okay, y'all ready to do this?
Do what? What are we doing?
God damn it!
What is the show about again?
Oh my gosh!
We are having a first listen.
Yeah.
Who's doing that one?
I am.
Okay.
Are you being serious?
I'm bringing a list of 15, and okay. Happy New Year.
I'm just glad you feel better.
New Year. That's right.
Yeah, I do. New Year.
Cheers, brother.
I still haven't been stimulated yet, though. I'm waiting to be stimulated.
Stimulated by what?
To get my stimulus check.
Yeah.
I haven't been stimulated either.
I'm still waiting on my...
I'm waiting to be stimulated.
Here, I'm going to see it. Just a case. Here, I'm going to see if I was stimulated. Well... You get started. I'm just seeing if I'm stimulated. I like that term. I'm going to use that. Hey, baby.
Who are you going to say that to?
My
your sister.
Rosie Palmer, baby.
Rosie Palmer. No.
Well, you know, because
I read online one time, it was like, if you ever want to, like, if that's your thing and that's what you do, if you ever want to change it up and feel like you're doing like somebody else, sit on your left hand until it falls asleep and then use that and it'll be
Heck
like,
yeah, man. It's called the dead hand. Called the dead hand.
Only Joel.
The fact that you know what it's called lets me know that you've tried it.
I have tried it, and it's not as easy as it sounds.
Are you flexible enough to lube up the arches of your feet?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, woo!
He puts a little lube in the little crack right here, and you know what I'm saying?
No. No. I just had 2 ribs removed though, but that's all another thing.
Well, you know, his device was stolen, so
it was. It's still missing.
It's okay. You still have the thumb hole of a pair of scissors. You're okay.
But that's too small.
Not for you, but it's okay. All right.
By the way, did you hear that Alexi Laho passed away from Children of Bodom?
Don't know who that is.
I saw guitar player and lead singer of Children of Bodom.
41 years old.
Don't know who that is.
Okay. If you listen to him, I think
metal.
It's really heavy, but it's don't listen to the covers, but listen to like their actual music. It's pretty heavy, but
yeah, I might do that, but probably
his vocals are not my favorite. But brilliant musician, brilliant player, died way too soon.
Amen.
Let's do this.
Hey, women.
Hey, women.
Hey, children.
Hey, children. Children.
And jazz hands.
Episode 19.
Jazz hands.
Okay, let's get ready. Come on, let's do this. Woo!
With no ring other than my wedding band. What? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the UNT3. We're 3 best friends coming at you, bringing you all music all the time. When we get together, we talk about anything and everything music. We want to bring you into that conversation and really want to get your take on what we're talking about. We've got a great episode for you coming at you tonight. We're going to be discussing 5 albums that we would play for somebody if they have never heard a note of music in their entire life. And then we're going to bring another first listen your way. But really, we want to say Happy New Year. This is the first episode we've recorded in 2021. You've probably watched a few episodes before this one's dropped, but just again, want to say Happy New Year. I'm your host, Ryan Gerfers. I'm here with my co-host, Joel Cox, our hero for 2021. And Christian,
I thought it was going to die in 2020.
No, it will never die because it's still happening. Happening. Right?
You're still our hero.
50 comments,
we want to see them
100 views. He's going to play hero with his shirt off.
There's got to be a time limit on this guy.
There is no time limit because
there's got to be a time limit. No rules. Okay.
But hey, what we're going to do, we're going to jump right in, okay? Let's go with Fisher. What is your list? 5 albums that you would play for somebody that's never heard a note of music in their entire life.
Yes, I get to start another topic. Right.
Let's go.
All right, so when we discussed this topic last night, I don't know. It was really hard for me to come up with my list because, I mean, just 5 albums. That's a small sample size for someone who's never heard music before in their life. So what I decided to do was try to kind of hit different styles. And I'm going to start my list off with probably my favorite piece of classical music and go with Mozart's Requiem.
That's a good one.
We've discussed this album before in the past. I think it was episode 13 or 14 that we discussed this on. But Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong. You've had a chance to sing this a couple of times.
Correct.
I've had the pleasure of singing it a couple of times in a choir setting, and it's the first time I heard it and sang it was when I was 19, and it was moving. So a moving experience for me. So that's my number one album, Mozart's Requiem. Pardon me. My second album on the list. This one is directly from my wheelhouse. One that I just absolutely love this record, start to finish, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it still holds the record for most time in the Billboard Top 100, and that's Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
It's a great album.
I mean, there's so many that you could pick from Pink Floyd, but I think that album is, and I would say, I think they would admit it too, that that's their masterpiece. That's their, that's their standard bearer.
Unless you ask Roger Waters, I believe he thinks the Final Cut is their best album.
Whatever.
But I'm I think that's what he's been quoted as. But that's the one that the rest of the band had the least input in. But
the Final Cut,
yeah. But I think the rest of them would agree that the Dark Side's probably the best.
Yeah. Pardon me again. My number 3 album is comes from the world of country.
Ooh.
Growing up, I didn't grow up listening to this album per se. I grew up listening to this artist's other works, but this is his. Ask anybody, oh, what album should I listen to of this artist? They point to this one, and it's Johnny Cash's At Folsom Prison.
That's a good one.
I think that's just like Dark Side of the Moon, I think that's the definitive Johnny Cash album. If you want to get Johnny Cash's attitude, who Johnny Cash is, listen to that album.
Yeah.
And as far as country music goes, I think starting with Johnny Cash and then moving into the other outlaws, Willie and Waylon and all of them, I think Johnny Cash he's a good entry into what I consider to be true country music. Could have gone with Patsy Cline, could have gone with a whole host of other people, but I chose Johnny. My number 4 album is in my top 2 albums, my own personal top 2, and it's another British band, and it is Radiohead's OK Computer.
Yeah.
I think, me personally, I think it is, depending on the day, it's either the number 1 or the number 2 album of the 90s. The other being the Black Album, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, that's a good argument.
But I think, along with Pink Floyd, I think what Radiohead does really well is stretch those boundaries of what quote unquote pop music can be, and just, oh, we've never done this before, let's try this. And OK Computer is what led into the Amnesiac and Kid A's of the world, right?
Yeah.
They starting with Amnesiac and Kid A, they really started going further outside their own little box, but it started with OK Computer.
No, I totally agree with you. Like, you can listen to it and it's singable, but it's not like anything you've heard before, but it sounds like everything you've heard before, if that makes any sense. It's just, right. Yeah, that's great. That's a great album.
And then my final album, I've danced around this album a couple of times, and anytime I've brought this band up, you know, I've kind of not shied away from this album, but just, you know, I don't know. This is my personal favorite Metallica album, and I had to pick it, and it's Master of Puppets.
Oh,
yeah.
No argument there, man.
I think to kind of, like I said, span all these different kind of musical genres, I think the ambassador, if you will, for heavy metal should be, and I don't think I'll get a lot of pushback on this, should be Master of Puppets.
Mm-hmm.
If you want what should a metal album look like, sound like, feel like, it's Master of Puppets. And I personally think that, I mean, it's the last album with Cliff. They hit a creative peak at that point. And you just don't get any better than that.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching, pardon me again, I was watching that metal show on YouTube the other day, and they had Frankie Bello from Anthrax and Dave Ellefson from Megadeth, and no, they had Charlie Benante, I'm sorry, the drummer from Anthrax, and they were talking about the big four, and what album do you keep? Do you keep Peace Sells? Do you keep Master of Puppets, Rain and Blood, or Among the Living? And hands down, it was Master of Puppets, even from the guy from Anthrax. So
yeah,
those are my 5 albums: Mozart's Requiem, Dark Side of the Moon, At Folsom Prison, OK Computer, and Master of Puppets.
Great choices, man.
I agree.
I love the fact that my list has nothing that your list has. So
Joel's list is nothing but Death Cab for Cutie albums, and that is it.
You know what's funny is, as much as I love Death Cab, they're not on my list at all.
Then they can't be your favorite band.
No, they can be.
No, they can't. That's not how that works.
I just think, for me personally,
that's not how any of this works. I unfriend you.
Well,
that's not how this works.
That's not how this works. I thought there was no rules.
That's not how any of this works.
Okay. So on that note, I'm going to start. I'm going to start with a classical album. For me, when I personally think of classical music, I think of this composer, and it's Wagner. And I think of Tristan and Isolde. For me, it just has every element of it has opera, it has musical moments. It has just, it's like the beauty of Radiohead, and it's how it's accessible, but yet it's so unique in some of the chord structures. Plus, if you get a good performance of it, it's hard not to feel emotion from that. So that's the first album that I chose. The next album that I went jazz for the next one. And for me, and if you've listened to other of our podcasts, you'll heard us talk about this album. But for me, it's the epitome of, if someone wants to know what jazz is, I give them this record. And that's Kinda Blue by Miles Davis.
That was number 6 on my list.
Yeah, it's like, for me, that is so hard not to have that. There's a couple other jazz albums that kind of come close, but for me, Kinda Blue is just, you want to know what jazz is. This is beautiful and accessible, and it's awesome. So that's my second one.
I had it on my list and bumped it for At Folsom Prison.
Yeah. So maybe that'll eke its way into our 5. The next album that I have on my list, it's an album, I've said it before, I think on one of our other podcasts, if I remember correctly, but the story of this album is, someone said this is the greatest album you'll ever hear. And the first time I heard it, I thought, I don't get it. I just don't. several years later, I saw it for sale at like $9 in a bin, and I bought it, and it changed my life. And that's Jeff Buckley's Grace. Like the first time I got it, I just didn't get it. But that next listen, I guess I'd matured enough or gotten older or whatever. But that album has everything. And there's one track on there that I'm not a big fan of, but the rest of the album.
Which one?
What track is it?
Oh, it's I always skip it. It's like a classical piece he does. I'm just not I forget what it's called, but I always skip it.
Is it Lilac Wine?
No.
Okay.
Lilac Wine is on there. Love You Should Have Come Over is on there. Last Goodbye is on there. Mojo Pen, the whole album. You don't
skip Dream Brother, do you?
No, Dream Brother's on there.
Dude,
I forget.
Dream Brother's amazing.
That whole album is great, except for
my favorite song on that album.
And I forget what the name of the one song is because I always skip it. But even with that one song, like for me, if I was to put the track listing together, Forget Her would be on there instead of that track. And I think the album would be absolutely perfect. But that being said, Jeff Buckley, Grace, it's a phenomenal album. Take a shot.
Is it the Corpus Christi Carol?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only one that I just...
Good job, Gurfers.
For me, it just doesn't fit in there. It just doesn't fit like the other tracks.
I got it.
Okay, so Jeff Buckley, Grace. The next album that I'm going to put on my list is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles.
Yeah.
For me, that just it took pop music, and every band that has released pop music since, it's the bar that everybody tries to reach.
I'm glad you went with that album instead of the White Album.
Yeah, the White Album is okay, but I feel like as a piece of art, I feel like the White Album was more, hey, we have all these great songs, we're going to put them on an album.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Sgt. Pepper's, they had a theme and a sonic. It was sonically the same, and they just put all of these things together, and they bookended it with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band and then A Day in the Life. Of course, the reprieve is right before that.
So Sgt. Pepper's is my personal favorite Beatles album, and I feel a lot of people would have gone with the White Album, or maybe even Abbey Road.
Yeah.
But I think as far as what I like about Sgt. Pepper's is it was their departure from the 3-minute single, where a Hard Day's Night, that kind of stuff. We're getting away from the Fab Four, if you will, right?
Yeah.
From that image and going more into we're our own entity now.
Yeah.
So.
No, I totally agree. And for me, my favorite album is more nostalgic because it's the first Beatles album that I actually had, and that was Magical Mystery Tour. And so when I go back, for me, that's more of a timepiece. Like, it's a great album, but it's also a timepiece for me. But if I'm looking at, like, in reality, Sgt. Pepper's as a whole, musically, visually, sonically, every aspect, it's hard to beat that one. So Tristan, Isolde, Kind of Blue, Grace by Jeff Buckley, Sgt. Pepper's. And then I had a really hard time because a lot of the music, like, I do like Death Cab, I do like Copeland, I do like all these other bands that are more recent. And I like the harder stuff too, but like, what else do you put on there? Like, I tried to think of what album has like been around, or what music has been around and people still gravitate, kind of like Jimi Hendrix and Black Sabbath and things of that nature. So for me, Zepplin is what I chose. And I actually chose Houses of the Holy.
Right on.
Now, I love 4, but for me, the problem that I had with 4 is that it's almost why I didn't put Grace on there, but I think the songs... How can you have a
problem with 4?
There's one song on 4 that I don't like as much as the rest of the album, but Houses of the Holy, from beginning to end, for me, the whole album is great. The concept is great. The songs are great. So that's why I went with Houses of the Holy. So those are my choices for the 5 albums. So Gurfers, we're ready for your 15.
For my 15.
Yeah, your numbers guy.
It's not 15. Okay, so y'all will probably say these first 2 that I'm going to put up there are cop-outs, but it is what it is. So the first one, I'm going to go the country route, and I'm going to say George Strait's Greatest Hits album, because I can't pick just one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick a Greatest Hits album.
I am going to say cop-out on that.
So it no rules. It is what it is.
I think that is, I actually, when he mentioned country earlier, Gurfers, I was thinking George Strait's Greatest Hits it's kind of like Johnny Cash's Greatest Hits or Willie Nelson or something. I mean, I feel like that could go on. So you get a pass.
And then the next one would be the Beatles 1 album.
Ooh.
Oh, I was just about to say.
Okay.
That's like saying picking Beatles 1 album, because it's just their number 1 hits.
And so we'll get, we get the Greatest Hits albums out of the way. Then next, I'm going to go the classical route. Okay. So I'm with Fisher. I've got Mozart's Requiem on there just because it's probably one of my favorite pieces to sing. I'm going to follow that up with probably my favorite piece to sing. And it's not with one of the composers that is, the greats back in the Mozart, Beethoven, Brahms era. This is more of a... Go ahead.
Before you go, is Requiem officially on your list?
Yes, Mozart.
So it's your third album.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
The next one is a more modern composer, but it's the John Rudder Requiem. The John Rudder stuff, if you listen to it now, he is a modern contemporary composer, but his stuff is very, very, very much driven by the Mozarts and the Beethovens with his own little flavor to it. And it's beautiful. This next one, yes, I'm going to say it's an album. I'm throwing this out there. This y'all may give me pushback on this, but I don't care. I'm going to do the Phantom of the Opera soundtrack.
Oh, no, that's great. Yeah.
Just putting that out there for somebody who's never heard music before. The organ alone in the Phantom of the Opera is amazing. So the organ work that's done, the vocal ranges that are in that piece, absolutely. You've got a little bit, of course, it's in the title. You've got the opera there, but then you've got some more poppy stuff that's in it as well. So there's a pretty broad array of music there.
So is that officially on your list or no?
Yeah.
So
and
that's
then
5.
No. And then I got 2 more that are officially on there also.
Of course you do.
And so this one officially I'm getting with, so I went with Fisher on one of them with Mozart Requiem.
Okay.
This one I'm officially going with Joel. This is Jeff Buckley's Grace. That can't not be on the list.
Darn straight.
Yes, it can not be on the list.
And then my last one, we're going to go rap.
Oh.
We're going to throw some rap out on there.
Okay.
Tupac's Greatest Hits.
It is not his greatest hits. It's Tupac's All Eyes on Me. And, I mean...
It is a great album.
You know what he's saying? I mean, I'm just hanging out, just Tupac. Hey, what else can I say? So those are my official 7.
Okay. Well,
I think we can take the Greatest Hits off.
Well, I mean, you
wipe those off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave them on the list. So I have the list here. And just so people know, when we do these things, we have the topics, but we really don't share what we're talking about. So now what we got to do is we got to battle out the 5 out of those 15. So what I'm going to do is, since Mozart is on both of yours, and since Jeff Buckley is on Ryan and mine's, those 2 make it in. So we have 3 to figure out. So if you want to take out the greatest hits, I understand. But so
if we're gonna go Beatles, since there were 2 Beatles albums.
Okay.
If we're gonna go Beatles, I would much rather go Sgt. Pepper's than the number one.
Okay. What are your thoughts on that, Gurfers?
That's fine.
Okay.
I have no pushback on that. There were 2 George Strait references as well, but if you take the George Strait greatest hits off and you go, or am I lying? Was there not another George Strait reference?
There's not another. No, I said I was thinking that while.
Okay, that's what it was. Well, then never mind. So yeah,
when Fisher said country, my first thought was a greatest hits album.
That's what it was.
Like George Strait, because that makes sense. I mean,
sure. I like the Pink Floyd idea.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one to add.
So what? We're at 3.
So right now on the list we have Mozart Requiem.
Mm-hmm.
We have Jeff Buckley Grace.
Mm-hmm.
And we have agreed upon the Beatles Sgt. Pepper's.
So we're at 3.
We are at 3 currently.
We need 2 more.
Yes. So so for me, because I want this to be a well-rounded list, for me personally, I think that Miles Davis Kind of Blue should be on there, only because it represents, for me, the whole history of jazz, which I think
I'm good with that. I was going to say we need I was going to say we need the jazz album on there. Well,
I say you put the jazz album on there, and then you round it off with Metallica's Master Puppets.
Which isn't a bad.
I'm good with that.
Which isn't bad, but for me, like
go
ahead.
I would replace Grace with either George Strait or Johnny Cash, so that we could have a country album on the list.
Okay, well, this is the thing. We still have 1 spot left.
I
agree with Gurfers. Give it to Puppets.
Puppets?
But then you've got to give up this. You can't. But then Zepplin. You're leaving Zepplin out.
Well, I was thinking the Pink Floyd. I mean, I love the Zepplin album, but that Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon is, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue with keeping Houses of the Holy off the list. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but which of those 2 albums is still technically supposed to be on the charts? They had to create a rule to get it off of the charts because it was still on the Billboard Top 200.
Well, I mean, I'm good with keeping Dark Side of the Moon on there.
Okay, so now I like that, and I'm not, man, and it's saying Zepplin because that's hard, but I just think Pink Floyd. I didn't think about that earlier.
I would say in the interest of having a diverse list, we have to at least, I don't know. We have to at least consider putting a country album on there, because there were 2 lists contained a country album. They weren't the same album, but they contained a country album on the list. So,
well, if you've listened to a previous episode, there was a band called the Little Willies, which is a great country band. I think that they should be added to this list, and we'll just.
You can shut.
No, if we're gonna put one on,
it's a joke.
Mentioned in a previous episode, we're gonna do freaking Florida Georgia Line. Okay, that's what we're gonna do.
Holy,
that's like might as well put Luke Bryan on the list too. God,
man, the guy that sounds like he's going to the bathroom every time he sings.
All I know is he had one of the most epic reactions to shooting a deer with a bow, which was absolutely amazing.
Okay, great. So, so if we're going to go country based off of our list, we have 2 choices. We have Johnny Cash, and let's start with there. Do we want Johnny Cash live at Folsom, or do you want George Strait's greatest hits?
Just do George Cash.
George Cash.
For me, I'm leaning, and I hate to say this, I love Johnny Cash, but Live at Folsom is not my favorite, like Johnny Cash. His American series to me is my favorite. I would lean towards George Strait's greatest hits.
Blasphemers, all of you blasphemers. I'm good with George Strait.
Okay, so now that we have that,
what
is going to replace? What is George Strait going to replace?
What's on the list so far?
We have so here he has to replace one of these 5: Mozart, Jeff Buckley, the Beatles, Miles Davis, or Pink Floyd.
I'm down with the Jeff Buckley idea going.
You are terrible, you flip-flopper.
Yes.
Flip-flopping.
I mean, yeah.
Fine. Okay, then take down Miles Davis because nobody likes jazz.
If I don't get puppets, then
take down jazz because nobody likes jazz.
Okay, well, y'all have to decide because it's y'all.
Kind of Blue's gone. Buy Kind of Blue.
Okay, so you're replacing Kind of Blue with George Strait's number 1.
Wait, okay. What are the Mozart, Pink Floyd,
Beatles, Buckley, and Davis.
Buckley's gone. Get rid of Buckley.
You won't get pushed back from me on that.
Okay.
I know Buckley made 2 of the 3 lists, but
okay. He will get an honorable mention by being pushed out only because we needed something country.
No, so here's how you fix it. You just change it. Our list is 6, not 5. There you go. Done.
I mean,
no, we are going to.
I would much rather have puppets on the list than George Strait, but
hey, our list is 7, not 6.
Okay, George Strait. Okay, so not in any particular order for the goings of our list. We have Mozart Requiem, George Strait Greatest Hits, Beatles Sgt. Pepper's, we have Miles Davis Kind of Blue, and then we have Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon.
There it is.
Holy heck. I was the one who spearheaded us limiting it from 15 to 5, and I want to vomit a little bit. But that's okay. That's guys, it's fine. That's why we do this.
Hey, you got your Kind of Blue.
Oh, we did.
And your Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's fine.
And your George Strait Greatest Hits.
It is fine, guys. So
yeah, you got your way for that list. I don't know what you're
we didn't get like Jeff Buckley. We didn't get puppets. I mean, we didn't get Tupac. I mean, God, you're the one that freaking took this list over, Joel.
No, I just guided you. I think that Tristan and Isolde is a much better representation of classical, but I also understand Requiem is like, I mean, that's just such a classic piece of music. So
I agree with Ryan. All Eyes on Me should be on that list.
Oh God.
It is. Okay. It is a classical piece. The Mozart is classic because it's in the classical genre.
Oh my gosh.
But for the sake of time, I think we should keep our list the way it is.
Yeah, I mean,
fine. I like that list. We could do this again in 2022, and I guarantee you our list of 5 would change.
We could do this next week, and our list of 5 would change.
No, I'm going to keep my list the same.
Okay, well, that was a lot of fun. First listen. Okay, so I just want to say for those who've been watching, Joel's been on a little bit of a hot streak. So depending on what order, the last 3 that were played, you guys like.
What
are you going to be bringing us a country song brought to you by Tupac? Is that
this is not a country song? This is
smooth jazz.
It is not smooth jazz. But I will say, so this band that we're going to listen to is a band called Little Hurricane. I typically will hit play on my YouTube channel and I'll just let it go through and just play different music. Well, I came across this band's Audio Tree, which I'm not sure. Have we mentioned Audio Tree as far as YouTube channels? If anyone hasn't seen Audio Tree, and Fisher, have you ever seen the Audio Tree sessions?
No, I have not.
Okay, great. Well, I'm not going to steal
go for it.
Fisher's thunder for later, but The Audio Tree sessions are great. There's a lot of great bands. Pine Grove is on there. Peach Pit is on there. A bunch
bands that nobody's heard of.
Exactly. A lot of bands that I listen to. But they actually had this band called Little Hurricane on there. And I think it was great. It's basically a White Stripes kind of configuration, drummer, female drummer, electric blues guy playing guitar and stuff. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. And to be honest, I just started a deep dive. They were formed in 2011. They're still playing live. I basically put on their music today to kind of figure out which song I was going to play, and I couldn't figure out one to play. But
were they all that bad?
No.
That's what I'm going with.
No,
which
they're not.
Sucked the least?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, if it's like the White Stripes, it's going to suck.
You can shut your hole.
Okay, first off, I think that is not.
I think he just lost his hosting privileges right there.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I want to expose people to like bands that they may never have heard of before, because maybe if they hear, on here, maybe they'll go, oh crap, that's a cool band. I want to check them out. I really didn't know what to play here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it up just a little bit. They have a covers album that they did. They have a Pink Floyd cover of Money that is like so good. They have a Bad Moon Arise. Yeah, Bad Moon Rising. They have I'm on Fire. They have all these great covers. And then they have some great originals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by playing a short cover. And I'm going to not even tell you what it is, but we're going to listen to half of it. And then I want to play half of their originals as well. So here we go. Let me know if you can hear it.
So we're not going to listen to a complete song?
No. Is that too loud? Okay. Let me know if you need me to boost it up. Do you recognize the song, Fisher?
Nope.
What a cunning way to condescend. Once my lover, now my fate. Oh, you creep up like a cloud, and you set my
Oh yeah, I recognize it now.
I figured you would get it.
It's so evil, baby. The way you let your grace enrapture me. Well, you know I'd be insane.
Very nice.
Okay, so Fisher, since you figured it out, what's the song?
Shadow Boxer by Fiona Apple.
That's right.
Winter chicken dinner.
Winter chicken dinner. By the way, those first two albums by Fiona Apple, Win the Pawn is one of top 10, at least for me, albums.
Extraordinary Machine is my favorite of hers.
Extraordinary Machine is a great one. That's the third album that came out. And the newest album that came out, she's still doing the same thing. So on a side note, though, this band, Little Hurricane, what do you think so far, Ryan?
I'm not going to give an opinion until I hear their original.
Okay. So that is off of their...
So you said it's like a White Stripes kind of deal where...
Drums and guitar.
Where's the bass coming from? Because I heard bass in there.
That I'm not sure. I don't know. But when they play live, it's just the two of them. So
was that live?
That was an album. It was a studio album.
Okay.
So this one probably...
It sounded live, at least to my ears.
Yeah. So, okay. So I had a hard time choosing an original. So I looked online to see what their most downloaded songs are. And this was one of their most downloaded songs. Let's see. Sorry, I should have got this pulled up first. This is one of their most downloaded songs off their first album called Homewrecker. And this is a song called Crocodile Tears. And let me know if I need to turn it up. And he will start singing here in a second, Gurpers.
I'll blow you a kiss from across the room. I'll let it miss so you don't assume. Please tell me that you want me, you need me. Doesn't matter if you don't believe me. I have no one to call me baby. It sure is sad no one calls you lately. I try to run, but I don't know how to get there.
Okay, so that is Little Hurricane. And that is the song Crocodile Tears. So, okay, so I'm going to hand it over to you guys.
I'll let you go first, Ryan.
Let's see if the streak continues.
The cover was better than the original.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have a problem. I thought they're good. I'd like to hear more of their stuff, but I mean, it wasn't terrible. But I really, 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 really liked the cover. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have it. So I mean, if I had to do thumbs up, thumbs down, I'll give you a thumbs up on that one.
Yeah.
Right on. Oh, I'd have to second what Ryan said. If I had to pick which one I liked more, the original or the cover, I would go with the original, or not the original, the cover. I just thought, for my own listening preference, I felt the original kind of, it didn't really go anywhere for me.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I kept waiting for it to do something.
Yeah.
And it never really did anything.
Yeah.
I mean, once it... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, once it got to, like, the chorus, like, okay, the chorus was nice, and then it went back to okay, we're going to go back to the beginning and start the slow build back up. And it's kind of, for me as a listener, it's a little frustrating. Like, okay, you already spent the first part of the song building up, and you got to this point, now let's go somewhere else. But... like I like to say with these first listens, if it came up on my playlist, I wouldn't hit skip. I'm not going to actively go out and look for it.
Yeah.
Or if it was on my Spotify or Pandora station, I might Shazam it and go, ooh, I like this. Let me download the song, and now it's in my playlist. And if it comes around, it comes around. As far as how I think it goes, it ranks with the first listens that you've done so far. It's somewhere in the middle. It's not the worst. It's not the best.
Yeah.
For me, the best is still, I don't know, your Deftones and King's X were pretty good, but if I still had to rank my favorite ones, it's still the hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is great. I will say this was really hard because when I first listened to them, this album was the one that I heard on Audio Tree plug. But when I got into their newer stuff, it's a little bit more accessible, but I was also like, I didn't know, do I go with what got my ear? Do I go with some of the newer stuff? And so I just looked at what the most downloaded are. But I'll tell you this, if you like the covers album or cover song, the whole covers album is just like that. It's so good. The song choices are so good. The arrangements are just different enough. But I'll say this, if that's what you like, I recommend everybody going out there and just checking out some of their other stuff, because it is really good, especially their newer stuff. It's a little bit poppier than this first song that we did that was an original, but it's good stuff. And I want to support those bands. So
yeah, you compared them like a White Stripes. I would say they're more akin to Black Keys because Black Keys at the very beginning, it was a guitar and drums.
Yeah.
Right. And it was a gritty, not that the White Stripes aren't gritty sounding, but especially the early Black Keys stuff was real gritty garage sounding, and that's what it kind of reminded me of.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. So, but I mean, like I said,
right, you agree with that because it's right.
But like I said, I really like the band. I like the gritty stuff. I like the stuff that's a little bit more kind of out there. Go check them out and let us know what you think. Everyone out there, if you like this band, if there's music recommendations that you'd like us to check out and review, pop, rock, country, hip hop, rap, gangster rap,
preferably hip hop.
Yeah, I mean it's we
R&B, soul.
Wait, yeah, soul, funk. I mean jazz. I mean just whatever it is
Fusion.
that you'd like us to check out. Fusion. Yeah. Just all that stuff. Anything that's music we want to check out.
Country that isn't country.
We did Joyce Manor several episodes ago. That was
Christmas
a lot of fun for us.
Christmas music.
Hey, that Christmas track, Ryan proved that it was Christmas.
How did he didn't prove squat.
He had sleigh bells, cheer, that time of year, sleigh bells, more sleigh bells. It's called Winter Song. Come on, man. Whatever.
Yes, winter, not Christmas. Winter.
Anyway, we'd love to hear your comments, except for Fisher's comments. So please subscribe. Let us know what
are right. So.
Your comments will be deleted.
Come on, Fisher, help me out.
Oh, whatever. He's picking up sticks. But anyway, doesn't even know how to work an iPad. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But seriously, I just feel like there's going to be a knock at my door in the morning. Hey, what do you mean I can't work an iPad? I'm picking up sticks. Anyway, much love to Fisher. But please let us know what you're thinking. Subscribe, recommendations, all of that stuff. But on that note, Fisher, what do you have for us this week as far as things to check out on YouTube?
So the first channel I have for you is a channel called Songkick. It is a channel of live music, and it is. If you want to find live music from a band, it's probably on this channel. They tend to lean more towards the music we just heard for the first listen, bands of that nature, bands that maybe you haven't heard of before or haven't heard of in a long time. So if you want to check out live music, that's a good channel to check out. And then my second channel is Uprock's Indie Mixtapes. And it is a channel full of old school indie music. Some mainstream. There's artists like Tori Amos on there, Faith No More. It spans the different genres. So if you want indie music, that is a great channel to check out. Uprock's Indie Mixtapes.
Uprock's. Definitely. I'll check it out.
There it is. Man, this was a fun episode, right? 5 bands, 5 albums or whatever, even though it's really...
I don't see how you can have
like
a top 5 without Master Puppets, but whatever.
You know what? The list is like 7 because Jeff Buckley and Puppets are on it. Okay.
In our hearts. They're there.
It's a list of 7 and they're on it. Okay.
This was a feisty episode.
It was fun. It was fun. But like Joel said, comment down below in the comment section. Something I want to challenge everybody to do is let us know that you've subscribed. What I want to start doing and what we want to do to get you guys involved. If you put in the comments, I subscribed, we'll give you a shout out on a future episode. So if you want to get shouted out in an episode, put down in the comments, I subscribed, and then share with at least 2 of your friends and just let them know what we're doing. Everybody likes music. And if they don't, then you don't need to be their friend. Okay. And so,
I agree with that statement.
So if they don't like music,
tell them to check out this episode if they don't like music.
It is what it is.
Start with our list of 5.
But
it's really 7.
Again, we can't thank y'all enough for tuning in every single week and checking us out. We've got a ton of really cool stuff coming your way this year. We want to hear from you. We want to put your ideas out there. We want to talk about what you want us to talk about. So make sure you're commenting, subscribing, liking. And don't forget, as always, keep living, keep listening, keep loving, and as always, keep rocking.
Too much metal for one hand. Yes! You did it! You did it! Yay! live music channel.
Your face was the best. You're like, that's going at the end, baby.
Right on. All right, so starting over.
Jam in on the one.
All right.
How about now?
That works.
Wait, say it again.
How's this? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we're good now.
How about that?
How about that? How are you doing? How about you doing?
How you doing?
How are you doing?
Oh, it's good to see everybody.
It is good.
What is the topic for tonight? I don't even remember.
You've got to be shitting me.
Okay, you know what the topic is, shut up.
No, I totally forgot.
Okay, the topic is you have somebody that has never heard a stitch of music.
Ever.
Okay.
Ever. So they don't know what music is, and you are going to choose 5 albums.
Okay.
So not a song, but an album that explains what music is.
Spider-Man soundtrack with Hero on a loop. That's all they have to hear.
You son of a gun.
We got to change the logo now that Fisher doesn't have a beard.
It's 1 week. Next week, it'll be back to normal.
And then what we need to do with Joel, like I'm looking at the logo on my up here, like we need to take Joel's and have them somehow change the beard color to like a gray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why don't you do that? How about you do that and you don't yeah, go get your coffee. It's going to take you like 5 minutes to get your
coffee. And then we can like put a little bitty toilet underneath him where he's sitting on it, peeing while he's sitting down.
This is going to be a very unique logo, I guess.
It'll be awesome.
It'll be
Dude, that would look awesome. That logo with you sitting down peeing on the toilet would be awesome as like a bumper sticker or like a car decal. People driving down the road with Joel peeing on the toilet.